Tamam, kaydı başla.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the communication 10th International Communication Days organized by Üsküdar University Faculty of Communication. So this is the session 48 and the title of the session, Digital Media Society and Culture, Critical Approaches. So we have on the program, we have 5 attendance participants for this session, and we are going to start by order. So the first, I'm sorry, first 15 to the sessions, the presentations will take 15 to 20 minutes. So I kindly ask you to respect it. And we are going to have question and answer sessions at the end when everybody finishes presentations. The first presentation is Global Commodity, Global Meme Culture, Global Melange and Baby Yoda. It is going to be presented by Research Assistant Tuğçe Kutlu from Ankara University.
Hello, let me just share my screen for a quick moment. Yes. Yeah, can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm starting. So hello, I am Tuğçe Kutlu from Ankara University, and my paper is on Baby Yoda as a global commodity. So when Disney Plus first launched its shows, the most talked about one was The Mandalorian. It's a Star Wars show, and it is created by Disney regular Jon Favreau, who directed a lot of Marvel and Disney movies. Its air of nostalgia, Mandalorian's air of nostalgia and sentimentalism swept through the globe for the reasons that I will now elaborate on. First, the main character, the Mandalorian, sometimes referred to as Mando, a wordplay on Lando, reminds the audience of a certain bounty hunter named Boba Fett that met an early demise back in the original trilogy. Secondly, and most importantly, for my research, an adorable
your microphone is closed. Yes. Your microphone is closed.
It has been closed
Okay.
the whole time.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Just five seconds.
Okay. So the child has the looks of someone very dear to Star Wars universe, the one and only ever so wise Jedi Master Yoda. The similarity is so striking that the fandom starts calling the child Baby Yoda, despite protests from the creator, good marketing again, that it is not Yoda, as the show takes place at least 5 years after Yoda's death. There are some questions that need addressing when looking at The Mandalorian. Why does Disney rely on nostalgia? Doesn't Star Wars guarantee lucrativeness as a brand? Managing demand is always crucial in any business. As successful as Star Wars may be on its own, the real profit comes in the form of merchandise. And for people to buy new merchandise, there needs to be new characters that create demand. There needs to be an original reference in the saga. It should be noted that Disney has been a pioneer in terms of marketing and market researching since the beginning, and Star Wars, in the hands of the media conglomerate, that is Disney, has nothing left to do but to be profitable. Disney is one of the most prominent. Wait, I'm trying to show. Why doesn't it move? So it has to move. Yes, Disney is one of the most prominent, if not the most prominent, players in the game of market penetration and content maximizing strategies. The sheer fact that it made $9.6 billion in merchandise during the first year of release after The Force Awakens, Disney's first Star Wars film. And it shows that Disney is ahead of his competitors. The film itself, which was highly reminiscent of Star Wars A New Hope, brought in 2.0668 billion globally. It's a huge number. What makes a franchise as old as this one still profitable? How do you sustain demand? You need to form such a strategy that can tug at people's heartstrings and reach out to their wallets at the same time. There enters the picture the always dependable nostalgia. Nostalgia as a tool for marketing is nothing new. It has been used by many corporations, including Coca-Cola and Volkswagen. Disney's nostalgia marketing techniques start to make sense in this decade. A world in chaos, a climate in global peril, politicians going haywire, and old ideologies coming back to haunt us. In this environment of extreme anxiety, Disney aims to profit by making people miss the good old days. While Disney Plus goes along with the streaming of The Mandalorian, Disney and his sidekicks, Funko and Hasbro, create demand for official merchandise. In creating and sustaining demand, Disney has chosen a strategy that is in alignment with the zeitgeist, breaking the internet. This is a phrase which is considerably new, but it has spread across the globe like a wildfire. Breaking the internet essentially means creating a content that is so relatable that the amount of sharing figuratively stops the internet from working. As this study is interested in Baby Yoda as a global commodity with an exchange value in money, I would like to talk more about how the demand is created globally, which brings the conversation to the global production and circulation of language 2.0, or commonly known as internet memes. Memes are the language of tomorrow, but there's no doubt about that. But however, they're also the language of the past. Their origin can be traced back to cave drawings, which are cultural products on their own, just like internet memes. It substantially means every cultural process that can be repeated and sustained. What this research is focused on is how internet memes work to create a global culture that in turn creates global demand. All the limitations of space and time are overcome with the internet, and the production and circulation of humor speeds up exponentially. With it, the cultural production and circulation become global in an unprecedented way. In the case of internet memes, every second a new one is being created and circulated all over the world. And contrary to popular belief, they provide local cultural commodities as well as global ones. As memes go, Star Wars is on the front line. And understanding the value of a global commodity, nevertheless, since Star Wars is a part of a US media conglomerate, Disney, its intentions cannot be separated from those of capitalism and neoliberalism. In creating a global cultural product, such as an internet meme, it is probable to cross borders without much resistance. Here, resistance being the defense of the local culture. Internet memes are funny, fast, and replicable, and they can be disarmingly dangerous to an unsuspecting culture. An internet meme is as innocent as Baby Yoda, is even more perilous as it can seep into the culture and dominate it with its political agenda. If America is presented in the guise of an innocent child abroad, then it is less likely to be seen as a threat to other national and cultural identities, says Kinder. The unstoppable popularity of the child showcases the impact of global meme culture. This does not have to harbor a sinister meaning, as the cultural production is not a one-way street. As Peter states, it can also be global melange. Jean Nedevine Peters argues that what is taking place is the formation of a global melange, a culture of hybridization. He states that we are witnessing the formation of a global melange culture through processes of cultural mixing or hybridization. From this perspective on globalization, conflicts may be mitigated and identity preserved, albeit transformed. Internet meme is now a big part of participatory culture, and it is becoming more and more relevant every day. According to Henry Jenkins, we can define participatory culture as with relatively low barriers to artistic expression and civic engagement, 2, with strong support for creating and sharing one's creations with others, 3, with some type of informal mentorship whereby what is known by the most experienced is passed along to novices, 4, where members believe that their contributions matter, and 5, where members feel some degree of social connection with one another. At the least, they care what other people think about what they have created. Commercial culture, with its lawyers and executives, is wary of the threat, but they are aware of the possibilities as well, such as free global marketing. It is no coincidence that Disney's first big budget show on their brand new streaming service is about Star Wars, a fan favorite cultural Trojan horse. They need to get consumers to commit to the new streaming service as they compete against previously established enterprises such as Netflix and Hulu. The fans now have limitless internet, and the force of the memes is with them. And internet memes have the power of infiltrating a culture, but they also inhabit the possibility of hybridity and connection. The point of analysis, therefore, should be the resulting hybrid cultures, that is, the stylistic features of local cultural life that emerge materially or discursively as tonalities of global culture. Each culture has devised acceptable versions of the Baby Yoda meme. They appropriated the cultural product. As you can see on the screen, I showed you a couple of memes from all over the world. So every country, every culture has been creating their own internet meme, including Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda memes contain politics, tradition, economy, and Star Wars mania in one small package, all made possible by the web. Toby Miller discusses the era of new technologies as a place where labor is forgotten. A small, cute, and green creature makes us forget all the labor which goes into producing films, shows, or merchandise. However, at the same time, global meme culture enables us to connect in ways that were imagined to be impossible before. Reaching out with a funny picture and a text can be the easiest way to build bridges between communities. I conclude by saying that I started this work hoping to come across a global melange within the global advertising strategies of Disney. And I can say that we might have found a global meme that has touched people's hearts across borders and prompted them to make memes of their own culture. Thank you for listening. This is the end of my presentation. I'm looking forward to the questions.
Thank you very much. We are going to have the questions at the very end. If you have any, reserve your questions, please. And thank you for this presentation. And I think our second presenter is not here, right? Evelyn Horvath is absent, I guess. So
yes, Professor, I'm just contacting her. If you like, we can proceed with other attendees.
okay.
I'm contacting.
Okay, thank you. Then we have the third presenter, Mohammed Wassem Malla is here, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so the The presentation title is Decentralization in Digital Content Production and Analysis of YouTube Channel in India.
How much time do I have?
15 to 20 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can I share the screen? I'm seeing that the pop-up is disabled.
You want to?
Yeah, I want to share the screen.
I think somebody
Okay,
from
I'm just
here
trying.
can help you. Yes.
Can you try again, please, Mohammed?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Professor. Thank you for this opportunity. As the title of my presentation, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you and
Okay.
see you.
Yes, thank you. As the title of my presentation goes, the decentralization in digital content production and analysis of several Indian YouTube channels. Firstly, we need to understand what decentralization means and what I mean by it. I refer to it, I mean, it's not my definition, but yeah, I am using this. It is the shift of the power and control from centralized entities to individual users or smaller distributed networks in the realm of digital technologies or digital media. It is a result of the transformative impact of the internet and emerging technologies on the media consumption and production. What I essentially mean from this is that how the media technologies have come and disrupted the traditional media content production cycle chains and allows the users to have a better control over the content production and content consumption. It was a disruption in terms of the emergence of the digital technologies, disruption in the content production channels of the traditional media, not in the sense that they have completely dislodged it or they have threatened their content production, but it has disrupted the kind of content they are providing to the users. As such, the traditional media landscape that has been controlled and centralized by the traditional media industries, which have their centralized production, distribution, and monetization aspects. What the emergence of the digital technologies has done is that it has allowed the rise of, or it has facilitated the rise of the user-generated content through the platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok that allows users to create and share their own content without the need for approval or support from traditional media gatekeepers like the media industries that are there. This has, as such, democratized the overall media landscape, giving a voice and platform to the diverse perspectives, ideas, and talents that may have been marginalized or overlooked by the traditional media. And it has also been facilitated by the characteristics of this digital, emerging digital media, because of the distribution that it allows to the users, rather than relying solely on a few dominant media outlets. Consumers now have the wide range of sources to choose from, including social media, blogs, podcasts, and independent online publications. This diversification of media sources allows for more personalized and customized media experiences for the content creators as well as content consumers. Before proceeding, yes, these were the objectives for my work, to examine the decentralization of digital content production in India with a focus on YouTube channels and shed light on the role of YouTube as a platform for content creators in India, explore the impact of decentralization on the production and distribution of the digital content, while analyzing the characteristics of some of the popular Indian YouTube channels which are there in the content production as of now, including their size and audiences. Before going ahead, we need to locate first the digital profile of India, the kind of internet penetration is there. As of January 2023, there were around 692 million internet users in India, with the internet penetration of the total population standing at 48.7%. India is home to almost 467 social media users by the same time, equating to 32.8% of the total population. This has majorly been facilitated by the cellular revolution or the mobile phone technology, affordable mobile phone technology that has been there, which in India as such stands at around 1.10 billion cellular mobile connections as of 2023. Therefore, when we try to locate now YouTube, since its inception in 2005 as a user-generated platform with the idea of uploading the content and sharing it with the other community or the users, it has emerged as such as the go-to platform for more relatable, for user-friendly and a realistic content. And also because of the feature of its two-way interaction that it allows to the users, be it the content creators or the content consumers, through the features like like, comment, and sharing options. As of January, in terms of, as I already referred to it, there are around 467 social media users, which have also access to this YouTube with 265 million active users on a monthly basis for the YouTube. This has revolutionized the content creation side as well. There are almost over 1,200 to 1,300 content creators that have subscription base of above 1 million subscribers. An internet user in India, for example, on an average spends around 29 hours, 12 minutes on YouTube on a monthly basis, which is far ahead, for example, other social platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp. Therefore, by virtue of being the largest video sharing platform in India, it has emerged as a key to the culture of production and consumption of videos, and as such has facilitated the conversation, exchange, and collaborative production of the content. When I say the conversation facilitation and exchange, I mean that it has, because of this, its interactive features, it has allowed the users to interact with the content creators and the content creators with the consumers to understand how their content is doing and the kind of change they need to make going forward. And then the YouTube also brings together heterogeneous video texts by creating a site of aggregation of the videos, which, as opposed to the television, for example, whose varying shows and artifacts create a producer control flow, it allows the users to create and generate their own flow through endlessly combining videos and by choosing the what to watch and when to watch. YouTube has as such come to represent what video on web looks like. It is short, mostly humorous, and easily accessible. The short video clip pattern also can be found in the mainstream websites. They have already tried to tackle this issue or to provide their own short or the realistic content making channels. But the kind of content that these small time content creators are creating fares ahead. And therefore, YouTube has become synonymous with online content characterized by short, humorous, as I already referred to, easily accessible clips. This format has influenced mainstream media websites as well. YouTube, as such, offers a space where creators can express themselves authentically and really directly connected with the audiences, and has led to the emergence of content that resonates with the viewers on a more personal and relatable level. Creators on YouTube are often able to address topics and issues that are considered taboo or overlooked by traditional media, leading to the production of more realistic and diverse stories. Additionally, the rise of digital technologies and internet has made it easier for the content creators and producers to distribute their works. The accessibility of affordable content creator cameras, editing softwares, online platforms has empowered individuals to create high quality content with relatively low production costs. This has further fueled the local content creation revolution on YouTube. It's also, noteworthy to note that while YouTube has provided a platform for content creation, traditional production houses that are there still play a significant role. What the rise of YouTube has done, it has allowed the content creators that have been previously marginalized by the traditional mainstream or traditional and mainstream content production houses to showcase their talent and create content that have been overlooked or deemed non-commercial by their traditional channels. Going at, this is the list of the largest subscribed YouTube channels from India, which is mostly dominated by music and entertainment channels. Like this, these are the traditional channels, the traditional media houses that are there with the largest subscription base. But at the same time, you have the individual content creators or YouTubers, which are there with a large subscription base, for example, as already listed in this table. Now, some of the case studies that I would like to deal with it. This is one of the first YouTube channels that created ripples on the Indian internet and Indian YouTube. It was called the Viral Fever. It was launched in 2011 by the TVF Media Labs that was already there, found since 2010. It has its YouTube channel has, as of now, garnered around 1.4 billion YouTube views. Most of its videos that are there on the on the YouTube, they have over 1 million views. This was the first and the earliest players in the YouTube content creation, which produced videos that tackled the issues that were there in the society, but were overlooked by the traditional media space. And as such, pioneered the web series concept in India through its earliest creations like Permanent Roommates, TVF Pictures, TVF Tripling. It addressed the political parodies. It connected with the audiences through its realistic content, an audience that was that had access to the other content from around the world and were now tired of what was being served to them through the mainstream Indian media channels. And India's first YouTube web series was released by this very channel. It is called Permanent Roommates, which became an industry hit because of the kind of the issue that it tackled. It was about a couple which were in the long distance and were forced to be in a live-in kind of a situation, which is kind of a taboo in an Indian setting, urban setting. It was a couple that we can spot on, in our neighborhood. So therefore, for example, the audience could connect with it, the kind of portrayal that the channel or these creators made. It is a resonance for the large burgeoning youth population in India, which are almost going through the same kind of emotions and experience that they have on the daily basis, particularly in the urban settings. As for example, it was lauded for its portrayal. Its comments are there. It was lauded for its portrayal of the live-in relationship. It was a taboo at that time in India. And in the very first few months, it had reached almost 50 million views. Its first episode had these many views. Then there is another web series that it released. It was the first black and white YouTube series in India. It tackles the issues that are faced by the students who are preparing for these engineering or medical entrance exams. Students who are just out of the school and are trying to make a way for the college. There is one township in India which is now famous for the tuition centers that prepares the students for these tough engineering and medical examinations, and the kind of emotions and experience that these students go through in that city. It's able to capture that and the kind of what is meant by the success and failure in that kind of a setup. So it is able to connect you with
Excuse
that
me,
kind of.
sorry, you need to resume in 5 minutes, please.
Yes.
Last 5 minutes, please. You need to terminate the presentation.
Sure,
in
sure, sure,
5
sure, sure. I'm towards that. I'm towards that.
Okay.
Then there is another web series that it created in 2019. It related to the middle class Indian family, that the emotions and experiences that go through, particularly in the economic distress that the families have in a middle class family, which resonated to a lot of large proportion of the population. Like it touched the issues of the financial difficulties that a middle class and lower middle class family has to face, or the continuous fear of losing an employment. So these are the kind of issues that they create. The other kind of series or the content that these channels produce, or like, for example, this Panchayat that tackles the rural setting and the kind of life that is there in a typical Indian village setting. And then another on the aspirants that tackles the issues about the young population that aspires to be the administrators of India, and the emotions and experience that they go through as they go through the grueling preparations. And then the hostel experiences, for example, of the students once they are in the college, their kind of experience. The thing I want to say is that, the kind of content that these channels, that this channel particularly came up with, it was kind of a revolution in the sense that the other traditional media had failed to tackle these issues. And this looked like a realistic representation. Issues that are there that you face on the daily basis, and then you find the cinematic or the voicing to those emotions and experience. Likewise, there is another channel, for example, Dice Media. It also came up with some wonderful web series, and also touched the very nerve of the Indian population, particularly the young population, through its content. Like this Little Things, it talks about the smallest of the issues that a young couple can go through. Also talks about the live-in situation, which is a taboo as of now in India, but has been kind of normalized now because of the content that is there. It is there, it's a reality, but it is a taboo to talk about. So this brought the conversation to the fore. Then there are individual channels like BBQ Vines. This is one of the YouTubers which has almost 4 billion channel views over the years, over the 7-8 years that it has been there. It tackles the issues about everything that's there going outside in the social realm. Something that that can resonate with the large population. There are other culinary kind of these channels that are there, which have been producing the content that can resonate with the. But going forward, I would like to conclude here with some of the my observations. The rise of digital media has revolutionized how information is consumed and delivered. It has made content creation more accessible and enhanced the concept of content creation. User-generated content has become prominent, providing engagement and a wide range of on-demand choices. YouTube has become a platform where user-generated content is created and consumed, while interactivity is playing a crucial role. The content in YouTube is often more realistic and relatable compared to the traditional media, which is challenging the content production that is there in the mainstream media, which have archaic way of storytelling and refer to the stories that are not in the realistic domain. It has been able to tackle the issues that are there in the social setup. I would like to conclude here. I would look forward to the questions.
Okay, thank you very much. You're going to have the questions, if any, at the end. Thank you for your presentation. And this session's third presentation is from Associate Professor Canay Umunç. Is she? Yes. Okay. So the third presenter is Associate Professor Canay Umuç from NİDE Ömer Halis Demir University, and the title of the presentation, Comparative Analysis on Artificial Intelligence Strategies and Discourses of Turkish and French Political Leaders.
Thank you, Professor. Could you hear me, please?
Yes.
Yes. There are no problem about my noise. Okay, I want to share my presentation. Firstly, I need the time, please. Sorry, I couldn't put my presentation on desk.
Can I help you with anything, Professor Munch?
I need to try my reach my presentation, but
Okay.
there is a system problem. Okay.
Maybe we can, Professor, maybe Professor Arsos, maybe we can first listen to Azra, Nazlı, and then maybe
Okay.
if it's all
Okay.
right with you.
Yes.
Of course. Okay.
At that time, I try to be open my presentation. Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, then our fourth presentation will be presented by, I think research assistant Azra Nazlı from
Yes,
Ege
hello.
University, and Professor Dr. Emet Gürel. The presentation's title is Digital Literacy Conceptual Framework.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. Our topic is digital literacy. This study is a conceptual framework. Digital literacy covers the evaluation, dissemination, and teaching of knowledge, skills, and competencies for the digital world. Digital literacy is the type of literacy specific to the modern digital world. It's increasing prevalence of digital technologies. Digital literacy consists of 3 dimensions. It's technical skills, cognitive skills, and sociological skills. The scope of digital literacy can be explained as informative competencies, use of digital tools, and digital transformation. Informative competencies include the ability to research, evaluate, synthesize, and infer. The use of digital tools means the competencies for information and communication technologies, collaboration, and sharing. Digital transformation is expressed as dissemination, innovation, and social awareness. All these elements are consist of critical thinking in the digital literacy process. This is the model. Intellectual process related to digital literacy can be addressed in three contexts. The first is locating and consuming digital content. Second is creating digital content. The third is transmitting digital content. In this sense, digital literacy includes the skills of finding and consuming digital content, then creating digital content, and lastly, transmitting digital content. Also, all stages of digital literacy are about critical evaluation. This is the other model for digital literacy practices. Digital literacy competencies can be explained with 6 dimensions. These are photovisual skills, reproduction skills, branching skills, information skills, socio-emotional skills, and real-time thinking skills. Digital literacy is explained as an umbrella concept, which includes information literacy, computer literacy, media literacy, communication literacy, visual literacy, and technology literacy. These are subtypes of digital literacy. Digital literacy education is a type of education that has its own specific boundaries and goals. It can be explained with 3 dimensions, which are digital tools, and then learning strategies for these digital tools, and lastly, learning outcomes from this digital tools usage. As a conclusion, we want to bring together digital literacy with sustainability. Sustainability is one of the key concepts of the world we live in, and sustainability is also accepted as a type of literacy in itself. In this context, it is possible to describe the concept of sustainable digital literacy as an effective concept for the new view of digital literacy and present it as a model proposal. As you can see, sustainable literacy and digital literacy together bringing sustainable digital literacy. Also, Reddy proposes a model that combines the digital literacy and sustainability. He emphasized the importance of education, information communication technologies, digital literacy, and lastly, sustainable development. As a result, sustainable digital literacy draws attention as a convenient and functional concept for today's world, where the effectiveness of concepts such as sustainability and digital literacy are discussed. Thank you for listening. These are our references. Thank you.
Thank you. And our next presentation is going to be presented by Associate Professor Iman Zahra from Cairo, MSI University, introducing AI into marketing communication education in Egypt, a futuristic perspective.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, good morning. I'd like to share my presentation first, please.
Of
Just
course.
a moment. Yeah, here it is. And I hope you can see it. So good morning, everybody. My name is Iman Zahra. I'm an associate professor of mass communication in the Faculty of Mass Communication, Cairo University, and I am the head of advertising in MSA University, Cairo, Egypt. Hello, all. I wished to see you face to face, but actually we have a problem because we have final exams, so we are banned from traveling at the moment. I was in Turkey in 2018 in Kadir Has University, and I was presenting also one of my researchers. I'm really proud to be here because this presentation actually is talking about introducing AI into marketing, communication, education in Egypt, a futuristic perspective. AI has been tackling everything around us, and now we really try to think about the education, whether to encompass the AI into the education of marketing communication and what are the ethical consequences as well. Okay, I just wanted to start like 1 minute with this video. This was the CEO of Coursera. He was talking about the importance of AI and how AI has saved his company lots and lots of work. And now one course that they compiled in 5 years, they can do it now in like 20 days. But there are also ethical consequences related to that. And also, we have also intellectual problems related to that as well. We are all tutors, and we can see now the students' papers. Lots of things have been done through artificial intelligence, and we have been catching lots of things through Turnitin nowadays. The agenda of my presentation is an intro to the methodology, the research questions, the AI role in the professional practice of marketing communication. What about the review of literature and the ethical implications of introducing AI into marketing communication, AI involvement into marketing communication education as a review of literature, and what about the curricular adaptation as my major objective is, and how can we introduce or encompass all of those technologies into the marketing communication and content creator education in Egypt. So artificial intelligence, as I have seen from lots and lots of presentations all over the symposium, is really part of our everyday life. Everybody is using AI now and then. Google searches, Alexa, Siri, Cortana, everything has been now dominated by the artificial intelligence. The problem is that is the communication students competent for that or not? The problem that we have more in the public relations and the marketing communications is that it has been, or AI has been a very major part now in the work related to everything or every aspect of PR and marketing communications, especially the things related to social media. And AI powered technologies has been involved now in every aspect of education. But can we learn about the technologies of AI in our curricula or not? And this is the big problem that I was trying to tackle in this presentation. And this is one of the biggest challenges in the nowadays in the social media field as well, is the gap between the industry and how rapid the industry is progressing and academia. And I think that academia is a sort of laggard in this matter because industry now is moving at a rapid pace with new trends, challenges, while the education is moving actually at a slower pace. And by education, I do not mean only the curricula and the pedagogies, also I mean the lifelong learning of the already or the practitioners that are practicing the marketing communications nowadays. So my problem statement was actually related to the ANI, or the artificial narrow intelligence, and how can we explore the qualifications, the content creators and the marketing communication practitioners that they should possess when being taught about marketing communication in order to deal with the ANI, or the artificial narrow intelligence. And then after that, through a futuristic perspective, I really would like to suggest in the end a pile of courses and topics that could be included in the Egyptian or the Middle Eastern as a whole pedagogies of marketing communication programs, evading the controversies surrounding the AI and the problem of the ethics, like the in-deep problems of the ethics related to AI in education as well. I had 5 questions in order to answer. The first one was a major question related to the professional use of AI in marketing communication by the practitioners and the content creators. How did the academic research tackle the AI in communication as well? Whether there were any researchers that were tackling the marketing communication education and using AI in that? What are the ethical concerns related to AI utilization of pedagogies? What about our pedagogies, and how can we put the AI really into the pedagogies without any breach of the ethical problems? And like 2 months ago, we have seen also the UNESCO that just issued like a booklet about the ethics related to AI, and we have all read that. And from the futuristic perspective, how can Egyptian curricula encompass AI courses and topics to be included in the Egyptian pedagogies of marketing communication programs? And as I told you, it's not only the undergrad and the postgrad, but also I am talking about everything related to the lifelong learning. What about my research sample? I resided to the meta-analysis and I studied like 80 research, and I'd like to congratulate you because actually the Turkish research school is really very, very rich with AI researchers, and they are really very, very modern about the AI influences in the marketing communication as a whole. So thank you very much for such a strong school. So I have started to analyze through the meta-analysis 80 researchers. As I told you, they came from the West, they came from the East, they came from the Asian literature, they came from the Turkish literature, and also we had some Arab think tanks that they were working on this as well. And they were 80 researchers that they have fallen from 2018 until 2023. I just ended the analysis by the beginning of April. So at first, I'd like to talk about the use of the content creators as a professional usage of AI. So they just use it for content customization, writing press releases through the AI chatbots also as well, utilizing AI through the agencies, and how the agencies' tasks have been coming much, much easier with the usage of AI. Social media analytics as well has been a very important part using the AI, and very, very easy, and this facilitated lots of things. Creation of new campaigns, and most of all the mundane tasks, the things like the meetings, the timing, the customer service, all of those have been dominated actually by AI through the robotic process automation. And also the utilizing of AI in crisis management through the sentiment analysis and NLP, or the natural language processing. And this has been helping us in the field of marketing communications a lot as well. And influencers, and this is a very big issue about influencer marketing. Also, they have been using AI a lot in order to like customize the content, in order to tackle certain personalized issues related to their followers. And actually, we have lots and lots of other uses in order not to waste my time. So what about the most important topics that the literature talked about related to AI utilization of or AI utilization in marketing communications? Actually, there were 4 major topics. Researchers were talking about the machine learning, the deep learning, the natural language processing, and the robotics as well. And what about those researchers, mostly the literature review that was tackling the AI's involvement in public relations, advertising, and communication? They said that it has been overall a positive part because AI presented a potential for involvement, but at the same time, it is a potential for improvement, but it is a barrier as well because of the ethical breaches, as I will be talking lastly afterwards. So most of those studies tackled the professional usage of AI in marketing communication, but none of those papers has investigated how digital or AI is going to impact the agency-client relationship afterwards, because this is also a very important part of that. So another part of the literature review was talking about the utilization of AI in the field of marketing communications and marketing as well. And we say that this continued the trend from 2011, because in 2011, researchers started to go to the data mining and then the machine learning. And now we are talking about most of the data and most of the AI new technologies like the ChatGPT. Now we have the word of Google and so on. So this part or this pillar, actually 2 studies only address the integrated marketing communications, not marketing communications, not marketing, but the IMC was addressed by only 2 studies. One of them was Turkish and one of them came from Vietnam, and it was talking about the PR5 as well. They said that the AI can increase the marketing efficiency by speeding up the decision-making progress in the agencies, and also speeding up the mundane tasks that were too time-consuming. Also, there was a very big highlight on the short and long-term personalized engagement and how we can use the generative content in order to personalize the engagement of the followers. Also, increasing revenues and reducing costs as well. And the brand management and the brand planning was really very strong related to AI, but also nobody talked about the education and how we can learn about this in order to incorporate them into our pedagogies as well. So the educational aspect was really missing from most of those researchers, like 78 researchers. I analyzed already 78 of them missed the part about the education. They just said that the education is very important. We have an education challenge, but how can we solve this problem? Nobody talked about it. And how can we incorporate those into the pedagogies of the mass communication, not the pedagogies only of the computer science? Also, nobody talked about those as well. So a big problem that we are having now is related to the ethics, because as we know that AI is breaching the ethics everywhere. We are marking the papers of our students. Lots of Turnitin plagiarism is going to the AI now. So lots of studies were talking about the word art, which is the accountability, responsibility, and transparency. And those are 3 of the main pillars that we should tackle when we are talking about the AI and its incorporation into the pedagogies and the practical work as well. Only 1 study has tackled this art, but this was in the field of the CS or the computer science, not in the humanities field as well. So my thinking about the adaptation of the curricula to the AI and how can we talk about it or how can we study it in Egypt or the MENA region. The researchers that I analyzed, they were talking about the content creation, the enhanced user experience. Those are the topics that should be learned in order to be like using the AI in a responsible way. How to manage the chatbots, the information-driven insights, the predictive analysis, and also the customer tracking. They said that those are very important topics in order to incorporate in our curricula and in our courses. From my point of view and my futuristic perspective, I thought that we need really more and more courses. Either those courses will be taken as like independent courses, or we can just put them in our courses when we are teaching the marketing communication nowadays. Major concepts of AI, also training and reskilling existing practitioners about the AI-powered systems. We can talk about, or courses can talk about the strategic and the leadership issue and how we can manage it through the AI. The past presentation, you were talking about the digital literacy. Actually, when we talk about AI, people are introducing a different type of literacy. It's called critical literacy, because we need to see how those professionals can tackle the AI with consideration to the social milieu and the social concepts that we are living in nowadays. One of the very important topics and one of the very important courses will be actually incorporated only to the AI ethics, because we need to teach the students what is the meaning of transparency, justice, fairness, responsibility, privacy, freedom, and autonomy. And this is like lacking in the AI nowadays. As I talked before about the basic concepts of AI and the AI programming, and this will be suitable for our students in the marketing communication. And we can always gain the help of the people from computer science, but we can not ignore that we really need to take things into our own hands. Little information about the algorithms, the content intelligence, and one of the most important courses that I would really like to introduce in our pedagogies nowadays would be the marketing communication research as an AI course, and how we can incorporate sentiment analysis. We can incorporate lots and lots of data analytics in order to work with our researchers nowadays. And by the way, lots of researchers now are using the sentiment analysis instead of the content analysis. It's very easy. The data sets can be bought anywhere, and it's a very promising tool that we can all use nowadays as well. And what about the social media management, content creation, and campaign creation? This is one of the major courses that I guess our students must know nowadays. How can we detect the fake news? This is very important. So now we can detect it as resource-based, context-based, and content-based. We have to know a little bit about the PR robotics and the chatbots, the routine and the mundane tasks, and how we can use our personal assistants, Cortana, Siri, and so on, in order to do all the tasks that the agencies have been hiring people to do, and it will be through the robotics process automation, or the RPA. Content strategy, buyer personas, and this is very important because now we are talking about personalized content through the AI. The AI usage in digital marketing, and also the AI tools in order to work better in advertising, like the Albert and the GumGum, among lots of other techniques. And this is all. Thank you very much. I just put you also one of the videos that were talking about the resignation of the major Google scientist Huntington from Google, because he said that AI is representing a major hazard. But now we have to deal with all of this, and at the same time try to preserve our ethics as much as we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Iman Zahra. We are going to have the questions at the end. And
Professor,
yes.
sorry, can Professor Umuç try something right now?
Yeah. I'm going to, I was going to announce her name. She's
Thank
going
you.
to present now, right? Okay.
Thank you, Professor. Sorry, I make you wait. I try to solve my problem about presentation, but I hope I solve now.
Can you try to share screen right now, Professor Umuç?
Yes, I show my, no, I see my desk, but I couldn't see my presentation again here. And I couldn't understand why.
Şöyle bir şey oldu hocam. Düştüğünüz için birkaç kere düştünüz. You have dropped several times. O yüzden de şey oldu. Sizin ortak oturum izniniz kalktı. Ama ben sizi yeniden yaptım. Gelmiş olması lazım.
I couldn't see my presentation on my desk. Please try again.
Okay.
Besna, acaba hocanın mail atsa, sen paylaşsan, teklif etti ama daha pratik olmayacak mı?
Hocam onu bilemedim ben uygun olduğumu, o yüzden şey yapmadım açıkçası. Şimdi hocanın anlatımıyla aynı anda senkron olur mu? Olur derseniz olur. Hayır, şey oluyor, hoca anlatırken neyi şey yapmam gerektiğini bilemedim.
Anladım.
Görseller-
Canay hocam, siz ne
More-
dersiniz? En pratik öyle olacak gibi.
I want to offer another offer maybe. I haven't got so much visual things in my presentation. If you want, I can present only with my voice.
Hocam size nasıl uygunsa eğer sizde benim geçmem rahatsızlık uyandırmayacaksa ben geçerim. Öyle şeylerde ben kafanız dağılır diye şey yaptım.
Okay.
Whatever, however you like.
Okay, I can send you a mail. With
Ha,
my-
sure, okay. Aha. Ben anladım.
Hı hı.
Bu ayarlar işe yarayacak diye düşünmüştüm. I have just sent you my email.
Hı hı. Okay. Ee,
Bir şey soracağım.
sorry, I couldn't see the screen now. I want to close my desk and open again, please. Okay.
Yes, sure.
Mailini göremedim ki kızım. Tamam, bir dakika.
Ama hayır, ben olmaz tamam.
Caner Hocam mail gönderebildiniz mi?
Şu an gönderiyorum hocam. Bir
Tamam.
dakika.
We have some technical problems for our international guests.
Hocam isterseniz Professor Ersoy, if you like, I can meanwhile share Evelyn Horvath's video because it's ready.
Okay, let's do that way. So the Evelyn Horvath from Cornell University of Budapest is not going to be present here, but she prepared a synchronized video. We are going to listen to her video. The title of her presentation is The Participation of Anthropomorphic Visual Characters in Social Movements.
Can you see the
Yes.
video? Okay.
Yes. Ses gelmiyor ama.
Ses mi gelmiyor hocam?
Bana gelmiyor. Siz duyuyor musunuz?
Ben duyuyorum tabii.
Duymuyoruz. Besna bu
Hayır.
ses paylaşımını yapıyor mu acaba?
Yapmadıysa
Ses
evet.
paylaşımı da gerekecek.
Hayır ama videoyu çekerken onu yapmış olması
Yok,
gerekmez.
bu paylaşım yaparken
Hı hı.
görüntü ve ses paylaşımını yapmak lazım da acaba o ses paylaşımı yapılmadıysa? Yoksa eğer hoca ses aktarmadıysa yapacak bir şey yok.
Doğru.
Zoom'da
Bir dakika
Evet
hocam,
evet
ben
videoyu
anladım.
paylaşırken
yapıyorum
Sesi de
şu
paylaş
Heh.
diye tik var orada.
Tamam.
Hı.
Anladım. Bir dakika geliyor.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Evelyn Horváth. I'm a PhD student at Corvinus University of Budapest, and I am working in the Department of Communication and Media Studies. Unfortunately, I can't be here with you today live, but I am very happy that I got the opportunity to be with you in the form of this pre-recorded video session. So thank you very much for watching my presentation. In today's presentation, I am going to talk about the participation of anthropomorphic virtual characters in different social and political movements. First of all, I'd like to give you a short insight into the theoretical background of this field, focusing on the most important keywords just like anthropomorphism, the whole phenomenon of virtual influencers and virtual characters, and CGI technology, which is the technological background of the creation of these characters. Secondly, I'd like to move on to my case study and its most important results, give you a short discussion, a conclusion about the results, and finally look into the future and talk a little bit about the further opportunities of virtual character use in the field of social and or political movements. In the early ages of virtual character creation, we could only encounter these completely human-like and photorealistically done virtual characters in cinemas, in CGI movies, or, for example, in the case of computer games and three-dimensional games. But nowadays, these characters can so easily done, therefore we can see them also in commercials. They can appear in social media platforms just like normal human influencers, but these characters are virtual influencers, and these are commonly used as new media marketing tools. And they can also appear in social or political movements as kind of ambassadors for a certain media message, and they can get through the target audience just like a normal human influencer would do it. Before I talk about my research, I'd like to clarify some of the most important keywords in this area. Most of them are also present in the title of the research. So the first one, the most important one, is anthropomorphism. What is anthropomorphism? Anthropomorphism is the attribution of non-human agents with absolutely human-specific characteristics. And these characteristics can also be physical ones, which are about the appearance of these characters, so they look like we as humans, but we can also talk about the internal characteristics, which are human specific. And this process, when we try to find traits that are similar to human beings, if some non-human agent look like a human or act like a human, this is an absolutely innate human characteristics that we try to identify somehow these human-like characters. And another important term here is CGI technology. This is the technological background of virtual character creation, and it refers to a term of computer-generated imagery. And this is an umbrella term because it collects all of the digital graphical programs and softwares, all of the technological background of image and digital video creation with this graphic design. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, recently I've conducted a research on the participation of these anthropomorphic virtual characters, virtual influencers on different social and or political movements. This was a case study that I did last year, and I examined 5 different cases. The first one was in connection with the Trump campaign. The second one was about the rights of African American models in England. The third one was about the Me Too campaign. The epidemic prevention at the COVID ages had been also included. And the last one was an example about reducing e-cigarette use, focusing mostly on the younger generation. four main questions had been formed before the analysis of these cases. The first one was the topic of the campaign. The second one was about the character traits that can be associated with the virtual influencers being involved in the campaign. The third one was about parasocial interaction, whether it can be identified or not in the campaign. And here I would like to tell you what parasocial interaction is, because in the beginning of the presentation, while I was talking about the theoretical background, I haven't mentioned this one, but parasocial interaction as a term was first used by Horton and Wall in 1956, and it refers to kind of a psychological relationship which is experienced by members
Video takıldı mı?
and the last one was in connection with the audience or media response to this campaign. So whether it was a positive or it was a negative reception from this side. For showing the results to you, I've inserted a table here because I think in this way it is so much easier to follow and see the result as a whole in each examined cases. First of all, I'd like to highlight to you one thing. The last examined case, the fictional death of Lil Michaela, was a little bit different than the previous four ones because it was only a plan of a future social movement, so it haven't been accomplished, haven't been done yet. That's why I indicated it with a blue color, so it was a little bit different than the other ones. And for the topics, the first campaign was a political campaign, an election campaign of Donald Trump, where a famous American virtual influencer called Bermuda encouraged her followers to vote for Donald Trump. The second one, where an also famous virtual influencer called Sugargram had been involved, was about the limited options for Black models in the beauty industry. The third one done and accomplished, the parasocial interaction could be identified. It was only unprecedented in the case where, of course, the Lil Michael's fictional death as a movement haven't been done yet, so I couldn't examine this parasocial interaction because the audience didn't even have the possibility to interact with these virtual characters in this movement because it was only a plan yet. And for the reaction of the public or the media reaction, it was mostly negative because in the 4 cases which have already been done, it was mostly negative in 4 cases. Only in 1 case, in the case of the WHO's campaign, the coronavirus campaign, was this media reaction positive, but in most cases it was negative. And the biggest problem in connection with these characters was authenticity, because the audience find them unauthentical when it comes to serious human questions, just like the right of Black people or political views or sexual harassment as a serious and huge human-specific problem. So they feel that these characters has nothing in common with these huge human-like problems, and that's why the media or public reaction is mostly negative in the case of the involvement of a virtual character in a social or political movement. And I think this is the most important conclusion of this study, that the authenticity of virtual characters is questioned in the case of social problems. So if we want to somehow solve this problem and form these virtual characters effectively and involve them effectively in social or political movements, we should somehow see virtuality or treat virtuality as a tool for authenticity. Let me show you an example where it is absolutely true that virtuality can be treated as a tool for authenticity. I think virtual influencers can be absolutely authentic, for example, in the case of environmental or green communication. Let's see why. For example, in the case of fashion industry, creating a fashion magazine, a whole issue of a fashion magazine, has a huge environmental footage. Here's an example from the Italian Vogue and from a campaign of an Italian Vogue from 3 years ago. Emanuele Fernati, the editor-in-chief of Italian Vogue, concluded that creating a magazine issue with real photographs, with real models, is not just time-consuming, but it is absolutely not an environmentally friendly way, because plenty of travels with planes, cars, trains are involved in creating an issue like this, and it gets the work of 100 gasoline fuel generator, so it has a huge environmental footage. And compared to virtual characters, the creation of these anthropomorphic human-like virtual characters can be done in offices using only electricity, because they are completely computer generated, no photographers, no gasoline fueled lights are needed for the creation of these characters. So in the case of preventing our environment and saving our environment, this virtuality can be an authentic tool to use. So that's why I think that in the future, for example, in a green communication campaign, these virtual characters can be effectively involved in them. And this is because in this case, virtuality is environmentally friendly. And being environmentally friendly is equal with authenticity in the case of environmental communication. So this is just a little hint for the future use of these characters. All in all, that is all I wanted to tell you and present you in today's conference. Thank you very much for your generous attention, and in case you are having any questions, please feel free to contact me via email. I am absolutely happy to answer all of your questions. So thank you very much again for providing me a possibility to present in the conference in this pre-recorded session, and I am wishing you a very wonderful day, and thank you very much for your generous attention. All the best. Bye bye.
Okay, so my screen has frozen several times, but that was okay. So lastly, we are going to listen to Associate Professor Canay Umunç. I
Yes.
think so. Besna,
I saw
you have Professor Canay's slides.
yes. Because of technical problems, I sent my presentation with email.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. My presentation's name is a comparative analysis on artificial intelligence strategies and discourses of Turkish and French political leaders. And next, please. The aim of this study is to compare the strategies and discourse of Turkish and French political leaders about AI, which is an important competitive field on a global scale. This study is important for debating the possible advantages and risks of AI, which has started to transform human space in the last 5 years from the perspective of leaders. Next, please. And in my introduction, AI as an advanced technology is a system that perform the data analysis, in a human-like manner through machines and facilitate human activities. AI is a rapidly evolving field of computer science that's transforming the way we interact with technology. AI is effectively used in many areas such as health, finance, transportation, military, and education. AI creates a global competition due to the advantages it provides. Next. Countries that can have many of these features are able to come to the fore in global competition. More than 60 countries have published their AI strategies between 2016 and 2019. And mix my slides now. Yes. The United States is at the forefront of these countries, and like many countries, it's taking firm steps in the development of AI technology. In AI, China is in fierce competition with the US and shares global leadership. US has a strong education system and qualified researchers, and this is its advantage. However, China invests more in AI research than the United States. Israel, Russia, Singapore, South Korea, and many countries have also increased their investments in AI. Next, please. Countries that use AI strongly in the military will also be able to have a share in the global economy. For example, in the military, the use of AI technology like robotics makes many countries well positioned to design and deploy it for military purposes. Twitter and political communication. Today, social media not only give users the chance to determine and present their own content, but also provide opportunities for political actors to inform the electorate about their goals and objectives and to guide the society in line with their own ideologies. Therefore, strategic communication specialists are trained to prepare content suitable for new media features. Twitter allows users to post and read messages known as tweets. In recent years, Twitter have emerged as influential spaces for political engagement and discourse. Today, there is hardly any political leader who doesn't use Twitter. Many political leaders actively share their talks and practices with the public through social media. Opportunities such as commenting and liking under the message shared on social media provide instant feedback and measure the reaction of the public. Benefit of Twitter for political communications are accessibility and democratization, rapid information sharing, mobilization, and activism. It has democratized access to political discussion, facilitated rapid information sharing, and empowered activists. However, the platform also faces challenges such as polarization, misinformation, and toxic behavior. Research method in the study, this is the discourse of Turkish Republic President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and French President Emmanuel Macron in Twitter about AI are analyzed by discourse analysis method. AI strategy of France and discourse analysis of Macron. In March 2018, Emmanuel Macron, the president of the French Republic, presented his vision and a 5-year national AI strategy. He launched the AI for Humanity initiative, which aims to promote the development of AI technologies while ensuring that they are used for the benefit of all. The French AI strategy is entitled AI for Humanity and has been developed on the basis of the AI policy report prepared by French Member of Parliament and renowned mathematician Cédric Villani. The main objectives of the French AI strategy as highlighted by the French president are to improve the AI education and training ecosystem to develop, retain, and attract world-class AI talent, establish an open data policy for the implementation of AI applications and pooling assets together, develop an ethical framework for a transparent and fair use of AI applications. To this purpose, the French government will dedicate 1,005 billion euro to the development of AI by the end of 2022, including 700 million for for research. Macron's tweets about AI. Total tweet number on AI is 33. And the number of people following the account, 3 million. Number of people followed, 725. And there are some hashtags in Macron tweets. There are AI for Humanity, Les Choses Voyantes, and Choose France, like this. Next, please. Generally, Macron tried to talk about his powerful partnerships on AI in his tweets. He tries to create an advantage for France in AI directly. He said that Facebook, Google, Samsung, IBM DeepMind, Fujitsu choose Paris to create AI labs and research centers. This is important for him. Second, he wants France to be part of the revolution that AI will trigger in mobility, energy, defense, finance, healthcare, and so on, because it will create value as well. Third, he wants AI to be totally federalized, because AI is about disruption and dealing with impacts of disruption. For instance, this kind of disruption can destroy a lot of jobs in some sectors and create a need to retrain people. But AI could also be one of the solutions to better train these people and help them to find new jobs, which is good for country and very important. Next, please. Yes, there is one of the tweet of Macron here, and for English translate, for its artificial intelligence research center outside the USA, Facebook chooses France. The other, please. Yes, the another tweet of Macron. Great progress on artificial intelligence is happening in France. Samsung chooses France to locate its new research center on artificial intelligence, creating more than 100 jobs. Thank you, Young Snow, for taking the leap. Choose France, all for humanity with texts. And thank you, DeepMind, Demisabis, for choosing France and French talents to keep making the world a better place using artificial intelligence. Welcome, Baker Amy. This is the example of his partnerships. And another tweet, Macron said, artificial intelligence originated in the middle of the 20th century. It's a technological revolution, but also an economic, social, and ethical one, with hashtag All for Humanity. We are going to set up a national program for artificial intelligence. It will be coordinated by INRIA. Several centers will do French territory with hashtag All for Humanity. And in this tweet, Macron talked about the 4 key words to make France a leader in artificial intelligence. According to him, these are talent, research, funding, and data. For him, one of the key uses of AI is that it will probably reduce the most replicable and straining human activities. And naturally, you will raise a wide range of other opportunities for people with low, middle, and high qualifications. The big risk for society is to increase opportunities only for very highly qualified people and, in a way, very low qualified workers. It is especially necessary to monitor the qualification of the middle class because they can be the most disrupted. He wants to train them either to change their sector of activity or to increase their qualification to work with a machine. He said that they will need people working with machines. In the tweet, Macron shared words from his interview with Wired. This is related to the issue of competition with other countries in AI. He said that he is not so pessimistic about it because he thinks that the core basis of AI is research, and the research is global. And he thinks this artificial intelligence deals with cooperation and competition permanently. So you need an open world and a lot of cooperation if you want to be competitive. AI is a global innovation chain in which you have private big players and one government with a lot of data, China, and he underlined that his goal is to recreate a European sovereignty in AI. There's an example. Congratulations to Gilek Sun, France's second Turing Prize winner in history. Becoming a leader in artificial intelligence is a French government priority. We will continue to advance with measures including a national AI strategy and competing courses in school. Macron also touched on the harmful aspects of AI and talked about the measures taken for this. Artificial intelligence is driving extraordinary progress, but it can also be used by some for population control, mass surveillance, discrimination, disinformation, or crime. We didn't wait to act. AI strategy of Turkey and discourse analysis of Erdogan. Turkey in the field of AI, which can be defined as the realization of actions, such as making decisions, discovering meaning, and learning in dynamic environments specific to intelligent creatures by a computer or a computer-controlled machine. It was determined its strategy in 2021. The presidential circular on the National Artificial Intelligence Strategy, which is the roadmap of AI, has been published in the official newspaper. The strategy is Turkey's first and most comprehensive framework text in this field. The National AI Strategy has ambitious goals. Some of these are increasing the contribution of AI to the gross domestic product to 5%, increasing the employment in the field of AI to 50,000 people, and increasing the number of postgraduate graduates to 10,000. Prioritizing domestic and national AI applications in public procurement, and Turkey being among the top 20 countries in the rankings of international AI indices are also among the objectives of the strategy.
Canay Hocam, we really need to terminate this session at 11:45. So can you please sum up in 2-3 minutes?
Yes, okay. I can pass my conclusion if you want, maybe.
Okay.
Firstly, I want to please come to the yes. Maybe I can continue from this slide. Okay.
Should I move on to conclusion or here?
Okay, no problem. I can pass the conclusion firstly. Sorry, because I take much of time you enough. So I can pass my conclusion. Okay. Recent developments in the digital technology have accelerated the competition between countries, especially America and China, and the desire of competitors to catch up with each other. Some even say that this will lead to the Cold War. Elon Musk tweeted some months ago, competition for AI security at national level most likely cause of World War III, in my opinion. Whether this will turn into a war or not will show the course of the development of technology and their effects on politics. When examined in the example of France and Turkey, strategies related to AI vary according to the traditional cultural characteristic and strategic partnerships of the countries. France gains competitive advantage by attracting strong digital partners such as Facebook, Google, and Samsung, taking its power from its deep-rooted civilization history. Turkey is determined to contribute to all humanity by making a new technological breakthrough in harmony with common values. Both countries plan to achieve their goals within a 5-year strategic plan. Next, when Erdogan and Macron's tweets are analyzed, it's seen that Macron wrote his tweets from his own page. On the Turkish side, AI-related posts are predominantly made on digital hashtag. The Twitter page of Presidential Digital Transformation Office. Erdogan's tweets about AI are few in number on his own page and appear to have been prepared by a communications teams. Macron's particular emphasis on artificial intelligence has been investments in AI research and education employment in technological fields and ethical considerations. He pays attention to global challenges such as climate change, healthcare, and transformation. According to him, AI holds great promise for addressing them. Erdoğan highlights our training and activities for the application of AI in the technological change, which they call National Technology Move and Digital Turkey. The use of artificial intelligence in military and security use and the fight against ethical problems such as disinformation and deepfake. The Directorate of Communications frequently shares social media posts and organizes symposiums on these uses. The government often emphasizes that digital platforms should be taken precautions against to disinformation campaigns transform to the security threatening. And in conclusion, both of leaders have recognized the potential benefits for AI for the country's economy and society and have taken steps to support its development. However, there is also a growing awareness of the potential risk of AI, and efforts are being made to ensure that it is developed and used in a responsible and ethical manner. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much. Fortunately, we don't have so much time for questions. If you have any, we can have one questions maybe. You can also ask to each other, the other participants. Then I think it is best to finish the session also in this digital world. You can easily contact to each other via email if you're interested in with the presentations. And I'd like to thank Üsküdar University Faculty of Communication for organizing this 10th International Communications Day. And looking forward to see you for the 11th International Communication Days. Then, Cihan Hocam, would you like to add anything? Your voice is muted.
No, thank you so much for your support and thank you so much, our guest speakers.
Okay, then we terminate the session. See you all in the future.